You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I was just thinking through these scenes with Cyrus and Austin, where Austin was talking about when he saved Nikolas Cassadine's life, and I was thinking more about the dynamic between Austin and Cyrus, and not so much about the Nikolas aspect, only in terms of Nikolas as it relates to Ava. And after I watched the episode, I rewound back and I rewatched that because I saw that some people were commenting about whether Austin and Cyrus might be, father and son. And I don't think so right now, just based on other things, but new writers, who knows? So then it just dawned on me in like this flash, and I wanted to just slap my forehead, a face palm. And Nikolas is Cyrus's nephew. Like, I didn't, the first time we were watching that scene, I didn't think about it. So since we now know that Cyrus is running the mob in Pautuck, whatever hillbilly mob up there, I definitely think that Cyrus intentionally wanted Nikolas, and for one of two reasons. We also found out something else watching this, and that's that the replacement GH writers need to get their heads out of their butts and do a better job. So, to be fair, maybe the roadmap left for them showed a flip from a female to male mob boss already, or maybe they decided on their own to use Cyrus for that role. But the bottom line is there's just these huge ramifications from learning it's Cyrus who is holding Nikolas as hostage. Is he holding him for good reasons or bad reasons? That's what I want to talk about. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our GH updates. Now let's dig into this. So for a full year, I think, we have been told that Mason Gatlin was the flunky of a lady mob boss who was part of their family up in Pautuck, part of their family. So that's what I remember hearing. Correct me if y'all heard something different. And that person was leveraging Austin Gatlin-Holt to make him perform off-the-record gunshot surgeries and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 now, they started throwing out he to describe this mob boss. And then we saw Austin sharing these shady, kind of knowing looks with Cyrus when Cyrus was at GH after his recent heart attack. Meanwhile, when Austin went to deliver the flash drive to his boss, that's when he turned up at Pentonville. And of course, it came out that it was Cyrus. So then we have all this weirdness where Austin was talking about Cyrus being around when he was growing up and how his mom was always crying, but his dad, Jimmy Lee Holt, didn't die until 2021 unless the new writers drastically change something. All right. So it's not like Austin's mom was a grieving widow all these years. That's what I fear they're about to say in hindsight to completely change that storyline. Plus, there was a DNA test done to prove that Austin was indeed blood related to Edward Quartermain. Of course, that could have been faked, but a lot of people wonder if Cyrus is Austin's dad. That's a conversation for another time. What I want to talk about right now is what it means that Cyrus has his clutches on Nikolas Cassadine, thanks to Austin saving his life behind Ava's back. And then Mason seems to be the primary babysitter of Nikolas, keeping check on him. And last we saw, Nikolas remains in a coma. As I said, the big thing that didn't strike me until the end of the episode is that Nikolas, is Cyrus's nephew because he's Laura Spencer's oldest son, and he's Martin Gray's nephew also because he's the son of their sister. So is Cyrus keeping Nikolas hidden to try and oversee his recovery? Is this a benevolent act? Is this part of some twisted redemption effort by Cyrus? Remember, Laura still hates Cyrus because he nearly killed her only daughter, Lulu Spencer. You might recall Cyrus ordered Julian Jerome to plant that bomb at the floating rib. It nearly killed Lulu. It did kill her boyfriend. So Laura will never, ever, ever get past that. But if Cyrus can give Laura's son back to her, whole and healthy, that might go a long way towards toning down her hatred of him, especially since we're now hearing Lulu name dropped a lot lately. That hints they may wake her up soon. One quick side note, Emme Rylan said that GH has not reached out to her about reprising the role of Lulu. And there's no word if they've contacted Julie Berman, the Lulu that Emma replaced, either. But back to Nikolas. Right now, Laura's off globetrotting with her husband, Kevin Collins, in this desperate scavenger hunt to track down Nick. Little does she know, she didn't need to go to Chechnya or Greece. He is in their backyard. Like Port Charles, Pautuck is a fictional town in upstate New York, so it's really close by. And it was a shocker to hear the other day that it was Austin that saved Nikolas' life. So that means he already knew he was saving Cyrus's nephew because he knew about all those family ties. I'm betting that Austin didn't have time to call and check in. Maybe he saved him because he's a doctor, or more likely he knew it would get him in good with Cyrus. Either way, Austin is conspiring with Cyrus and acting on his orders. I have a couple more things to say about this, but hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our GH updates. Click a like if you're enjoying this, and definitely drop your comments on why you think that Cyrus is holding his nephew. We got a few more tidbits for you though. First off, all this makes me question if Austin is in bed with Ava to keep an eye on her, on Sonny, on the Pikeman thing, and because she's Laura's daughter-in-law. Is their entire weird relationship a bizarre setup that was done at Cyrus Renault's request? That would be pretty twisted, right? And also, is Cyrus paying for and overseeing Nikolas Cassadine's recovery so he can use him as leverage against Ava or against Laura, or as a gesture of familial goodwill? That way he can hand a recovered Nikolas over to Laura, and it would be pretty interesting if he then said, by the way, I saved his life because Ava tried to kill him. Let's not forget the awfulness of Laura having 2 of her 3 children in comas right now. She just doesn't know about Nikolas, so it would be great if they did this. Wait for more huge revelations as the replacement writers take this story in strange new directions. Drop your comments below. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.